This is Bobby. Sorry, at Copel TV Repair with a functionality proof video for Vizio M70-c3 mainboard that was left in a different suite, so it got ignored for a couple of days, and we had to put it on priority handling today. This video is for the customer. The board is repaired and is working now. It came without a Wi-Fi board and without a heatsink at all. Generally, we shouldn't be processing such boards. It is a well-established fact that when people have the natural curiosity to start exploring on their boards, this usually translates into long-term problems for us. Like it or not, this is a statistical fact, which is why we have a condition in the listing that says board that have not been tampered with, and of course everybody decides to everybody wants to decide for themselves what qualifies for tampering and what doesn't. And we've heard all kind of arguments. Long story short, the board is repaired and it is working. We will send it back with the heatsink that we will give on our own. Do not take that off. You will put back your own Wi-Fi board from here. What else did I want to say? Of course, you want to see it working. Hope that is fine. And what else? Oh yeah, that's very important. Those boards, all of them, the family of boards, they develop very high temperature here. That's why they have this very special heatsink. That's why they have to go and dissipate the heat here. Saving a heatsink from being sent around actually does have somewhat reasonable justification, and that is that most of the boards that are sent to here arrive with this. They're very poorly packaged, no protection for that whatsoever, and long story short, there is some reasoning about taking that off before shipping. I wouldn't argue, but there is also a very good reasoning for not doing it, because we can't know how was that handled, what might have been damage to the board when trying to take that off. And again, the general curiosity of people is usually an indicator for a long-term trouble. What I want to say though is this: when the board gets installed back, it is very crucial for this to be so nicely aligned so that it doesn't have a lot of pressure. It's a mechanical problem, literally. It doesn't apply mechanical pressure to the heatsink to be unleveled from the two processors that are underneath. This is very crucial because even a slight change in that angle would mean that the surface of the processor may not be quite leveled with the surface of the heatsink, and if there is a small gap, the point of dissipation will be a single point instead of a whole rectangle that is here where the processor is. And this is really, really crucial because they do develop very high temperatures, those boards, compared to relatively others. So installing that for this customer, for everyone else, the board should be laying naturally. It's okay to leave somewhat relaxed screws somewhere on the driver as long as there is no pressure. There is argument against that too. Ideally, the board must be flat, and this must be flat, and this must be flat and even and lay exactly where it's supposed to lay. This is very hard, especially if this is being handled, and especially if it was shipped back and forth. You will see how we will package the whole thing with a lock around this whole area up to here. But it is really crucial that this stays properly pressed against the processors. It is also no less crucial that the board itself is actually, you see there's a gap here. You can hear it cracking. Cracking when I press. Because the problem starts with the combination of the high temperature and the board warping and losing that evenness, except not between the processor and this, even though that happens eventually as well, but between the processor and the PCB itself. This is where the problem originates from. And it's a very common problem for all kind of boards, but it's particularly sensitive here. So physical alignment, evenness, and everything is crucial for that board. The other is proper application of the transfer pads between the processor and this. You can use the soft rubber transfer pads. We may send 2 of those along with the board, but we're gonna put the heatsink, the label, so that this should not be going off. And once this goes off, all the warranty should be off the table, because people just screw up things. Like it or not, that's again a statistical fact. And the thing about the warranty is we do the warranty, but we cannot do warranty for things that people work on their own and decide that they have all the technical skills. Whether they have it or not, they may have it. It's not their call if somebody else is doing the warranty. It's really as simple as that. Okay, so the board will be going back. It's still working, as you can see. After me talking for so long, people complain that I talk a lot and do nothing. Hopefully you did learn something. Hopefully you will apply whatever you learned the best possible way. Best of luck.